We're 2 months
into YouTube.
Little one.
He's joining us today, at least for the intro.
Okay. Spit it out.
Yeah, really. He's like, the fuck? He's so white. You are the white balance. What's up, you guys? We've been making videos every week.
Every Wednesday, 5 o'clock. We don't always hit that.
We're learning. That's exactly what this video is. 2 months in review.
2 months in review. It's been a hell of a process, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dive right into it for you, all right?
Why did we do this? Why did we do this?
There's a ton of reasons why we did this. Number one, though, our lives are stagnant, especially our work lives. We got comfortable. We're working for somebody or some corporation. It wasn't fulfilling at all. We were just itching for more. I think once we moved in together, it changed the game for us because we started vibing on each other, started using each other's momentum to really just propel us into doing something different. I was in a room in a house that was run down. It was an old retirement home, paying $700 a month. Actually $750 if I didn't clean. There was a lot more roaches than there were people in that place.
Oh my God, what a great way of putting it. Once we finally binded our power and got a place,
yes,
we started sharing a mindset, sharing ideas of growth.
A dream.
Definitely.
Yeah. We wanted more, you know?
So we collaborated for this 2 months in review to give you like 10 or so. We'll see.
We're gonna go 10.
10? We're doing 10.
Go 10. We got more, but they kind of interweave with each other.
List.
So it's top 10 insights.
Insights, yeah.
We're figuring stuff out as we go.
Most definitely. So some of it's about us, some of it's really technical. We thought we should share it with you in case this has anything to do with what you want to do in life.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it then?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
I'm gonna do it like that. 2, 3.
There it is. Welcome to Mikasa. What?
What?
Just a display. The display's gonna go off.
Oh, we're still here. Which segues right into our first thing, which is know your equipment.
Know your fucking equipment. I mean, this is a perfect example of what just happened. Like, we have this camera that's only a year old. We still are trying to figure out what the hell we're doing with it. She just realized that we had an app for the camera that allowed it to connect to Wi-Fi. Check it out.
Look at how meta that is.
It's super easy. Definitely know your equipment. There's tons of times that we're out in the field and we're just not sure what the hell we're doing.
Got up quite early, about 4:30 in the morning. We had planned an entire time-lapse shot that we were going to do.
So you know, the sun rises and I did a time-lapse and I'm left with a piece of shit.
But without knowing what our ISO needed to be, how light was going to change, whether it was going to be yellow or completely whitewashed.
And I forgot to leave it on auto exposure, so the exposure just completely went to shit.
It's not wasted, it's always something learned, but I would say if it's done a second time with the same equipment, then it's wasted.
I've had this camera for a year and I just didn't know it, honestly.
And then we also have our Canon G7X. We did a little more research on and we find that we use this one a lot more.
It's important to see yourself, honestly, when you're talking to the camera.
Yeah.
It's important to see yourself when you're talking to the camera. There we go. Try not to stutter over my mouth. So you're just like taking a selfie and trying to film each other, and next thing you know, half our faces cut off when we got useless content.
The first piece of equipment that we had was this camera, and we had a small Manfrotto
It's a mini tripod.
Mini tripod. Yeah. This thing is heavy. This is not something that you want to be holding all the time in your hand. Your wrist gets tired. Just like the gimbal that we bought. We thought we were going to be using that like wildfire. The very first day we took it out into the field, we looked at each other and we were like, no.
The gimbal was...
I say we bought into the hype a little bit on that one, where it's like, everybody's like, Steadicam, gimbal, like all that. Yeah. And so we get one of these like kooky pieces of equipment and we're like, yeah, that thing is heavy as fuck. Know your equipment.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Stay organized.
Well, I mean, it's as simple as just making sure you have your shit together before you leave the house and go somewhere. That's 3 hours away. And twice, we have forgotten memory cards. That's like the number one thing you need, and we have forgotten those multiple times already.
I wake up in a tent in Joshua Tree.
5:30 in the morning,
stretching. Yeah. Shit, I forgot the memory cards. We are all the way in the desert with 2 cameras and no memory cards.
So it ends up costing you too if you're not organized, because you end up having to go and buy more memory cards that you didn't want to drop $45 on buying.
I'm a list person. If you're a list person, write down a list. Physically checkbox everything that you need to in order to make sure that you are prepared.
It also goes into video editing, making sure you know when you're transferring files into your computer, make sure you have it organized. I mean, our first video that we shot, it took forever to edit because we just couldn't find shit.
I love how Mack has organized our files. We have content, we have B-roll, we have the pictures that we took.
And once you know where your stuff is, it creates a workflow for yourself. We get these shots done much quicker. We're spending so much less time editing. That leads us on to
number 3. Be patient with yourself, be patient with others, and be patient with your equipment.
the spinning wheel of death. Everybody gets it. You know, you'll be editing 2-3 hours, and for whatever reason, you just completely forget to save.
Yeah.
Your autosave is set for way too long, and eventually you just have to force quit it and you lose everything you just worked on. Because we're a two-person team, being patient with each other, which is another one. I might have a personal way of doing something and she has another personal way of doing something. Has to go through both of us to basically be presented to you.
When you're in a 2 or more person team, basically dividing the stresses of what it is you're gonna have to do is very critical to the success of your project. Being patient with each other is also about communication. We work kind of a freelance schedule right now. We have to be flexible with each other to know, okay, I can do this on this days, can you do that on that day? And we make sure that we have a time where we can both review it. Insight number 4, being okay with failure.
Have to be, especially when you're doing something you've never done before.
As a new creative, you know what you know and you know what you don't know, and if you're willing to learn what you don't know, you're gonna be fine. Failure is going to come. It's not going to look like some grandiose nuclear explosion. It's all over. It's just going to maybe not turn out the way that you envisioned.
And just experiment. This whole last 2 months has just been all experimenting. You can't beat yourself up when you don't know a certain editing technique that you shot something for. Take what you know and do your best with it.
Respecting both equally as integral parts of the success of your project.
It's only a failure if you think of it as a failure.
True.
True.
Number 5.
Number 5 is study, study, study. I'm gonna go back to my baseball career. I was a pitcher. You use video to watch your technique and see where you're messing up, mechanically what you can fix. So when we watch these people like Peter McKinnon, Sorella Amore, you know, Casey Neistat, we're just sucking and soaking up all this information. All we're looking for is just one thing that we didn't know.
Yeah. So it takes seeing what is working and what isn't working with others, but you can't live in a vacuum when it comes to creativity.
No.
Number 6 is finding your authentic self and getting comfortable on camera if this is what you're going to be doing. When we first started, it was a little awkward talking to invisible people. You're like holding this camera in a constant selfie motion, and you know everybody's aware that you're that guy.
Not easy at all holding a camera and talking to nobody. Like obviously we're talking to you, but like there's no one in this fucking room besides us two talking to you.
And the popularity of vloggers and the whole influencer thing kind of makes you a bit more self-aware that others are looking at you like, oh really? Like you think you're gonna be some big success, and it's just like, can I build my art? Mackenzie was he was doing this weird laugh.
It's just an uncomfortable thing, you know? It's like it's just coming from nervousness, but
it's true. There were times where I would just like be quiet, and I'm not a quiet person, and I'm like, why am I not being my authentic self on camera? What is that barrier and why is it there?
For sure, but it's fucking weird having someone walk behind the camera as you're talking and they're staring directly at you and you don't want to fucking look at them. Especially when people meet you, like...
They want to see what they've seen on camera and they're hoping that that's an authentic individual. If you show up and you're a fucking douchebag, it's going to be a little bit shocking for your audience, and that's going to distance them from you because you've distanced yourself from your own authenticity.
That leads us to number 7. 7. Intentional shooting. It'll save you a ton of time. Our first couple episodes, we shot everything. It's all about time. If you don't know what you're shooting or what you're trying to capture,
you're making things longer for yourself in post-production.
It all goes back to saving time.
And that's one of the bigger things that we learned from other people who have been successful. We weren't really intentional with our shots when we started. We were like, that's cool, oh, that's cool.
Yep.
But it's the difference between a 2-hour editing process and a 6-hour editing process, which we've definitely been through both.
We've done more.
And let me tell you, the latter is not fun.
No.
Be ready to be impulsive. Things will not always go your way in the field. People like to see when others improvise. Being impulsive gives you variety in your shots, that we go in with a plan now. He might say something, let's transition like this. You don't resist it and say, well, that wasn't in the plan. It is in the plan now, let's do it.
That's a good feeling.
Always. The hell? Number 9 is about networking and having realistic expectations of the support that you're going to receive from the people that you know. How many Instagram followers do you have?
You add all those people up, we got 5,000 together.
139 subscribers at this point.
It doesn't. First of all, it doesn't upset us at all.
No.
We're building a community, and you know what? Not everybody wants to be a part of the community.
It's hard to rally the support from the people that you know if you guys have all come from the same place, because it's hard for people who are still stuck in the same place to see you in a position of growth and prosperity. You're going to get comfortable with networking.
For sure, and no one's gonna know what the fuck you do if you don't say anything.
You can't be shy about this next step that you're taking. Nobody's gonna know if you sit there quietly hoping for change and progress.
Number 10 is have some fucking fun.
Make sure you're doing this for you.
If it feels like a chore, like, why are you doing it?
Stop.
Wednesday is my favorite day. I just want to get back to doing my thing, you know? And come Wednesday is the day I get to share our thing.
It's exciting to show people that you've taken back your life in some form. If you are not building your own dream, somebody will hire you to build theirs. If you're gonna put more energy into something, make it be for you.
Have fun in the whole process, because I promise you that it's gonna be worth it.
So here's to the next 2 months.
We like talking to you guys.
Yeah,
you know?
Please give us feedback. That you're our tribe.
We fuck with y'all.
We fuck with you. We fuck with you heavy.
We fuck with you heavy. Please fuck with us. And if you like this shit, subscribe, share, give us that thumbs up. Please.
Be weird in the comment section. I like that
Say
too.
Say some weird shit
I'm
so we can
weirdness.
respond with some weirder shit.
We will out-weird you, I guarantee.
Please.
But stay cool, stay authentic. See you next week.